Hello everyone, it's Dev again. So today I am finally going to be able to put my decals on my windows. I actually got two of these. They're for the rear window of like a truck or whatever, but I'm going to use them on the side windows here so that you can't see all this woodwork and stuff, because right now on the outside, especially during the day, you can quite clearly see the woodworking and everything. And so I just didn't want anybody to really, be seeing that. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I didn't like the look of it. And so I bought these really long window cling things, and they're just like blue flame or whatever. I just tried to get something that didn't have to be, like it was quite clearly a scene or something that should be on the rear window. So you'll see when they're all done what it looks like and everything. Sorry, it's so windy. I don't even know if this is going to be a good day to do it, because it already takes two people. And I didn't think I was even going to be able to do this here, because I thought I would be gone by now. And because the conditions have to be perfect. It has to be above a certain temperature and then with low humidity. And so we just don't get that opportunity very much here in Indiana. It's usually really hot and humid or cold with no humidity. So, autumn time is actually the only time that I could really do this. And so I guess I'll be able to do it now. But my ex is at work. He's going to be home soon, and he's going to be the one that helps me. It's just because they're so big, you really just need more than two hands. And the instructions tell you exactly how to do it and everything. Looks really easy. I'm not going to be able to film us doing it because I'm not like trying to get him on the internet or anything. But those are the procedures, and we'll see how it works. And instead of using glass cleaner, I've got these Norwex cloths. I'm sorry if this camera's picking up this wind. It's super windy. But I've got these Norwex cloths that are glass cleaning cloths, and then this is a dry cloth that you dry it with when you're done, and it just takes water. And so I've got a bucket of water out there already, and I'll just take that out there and get it wet, wring it out, and wash it down really well and dry it with this, and we'll call it a day. And this is the masking tape I'm going to use. It's not masking tape, it's painter's tape. I already had this. So when they're telling you to tape it down in certain areas with masking tape, I'm just going to use this. And this is the little knife that I'll use to frame it out, and you have to leave 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch exposed on the glass all around the edges. So I'm going to cut it with this, my little baby knife that I use to open packages and stuff. I love this little thing. And I put a new blade in it, so hopefully it'll be good and sharp. Alright guys, I will show you what it looks like when it's done. I would set you out there and let you watch me doing the washing the windows, but it's just so windy. I don't think that'd be a good idea. Alright, talk to you in a bit. Alright, I put a piece of masking tape over the microphone. Let's see if this works. before I could get it dry with this. That's why I had to kind of double do it there with both hands. But you have to, they tell you to make sure to get around the gasket really, really clean so that when you're applying it, the edges won't come up or anything. So I cleaned that whole thing twice, but you can kind of see, you can clearly see the wood in there. And I just don't like that. And I think these window decals are gonna look a lot better. So I'm gonna clean the other window now and hopefully get these window clings up soon. All right, see you in a bit. All right, well, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this because it's pretty bright, but this is the passenger side. Looks kind of like smoke. It's not flames. I think it's supposed to be like smoke, like a blue and black, and there's some white in it. It looks pretty good. You can't really, I don't know if you're gonna be able to catch this on camera. Sorry about the wind. It is super windy. This was really, really hard to do. Really hard to do because of the wind. Yeah, that sun glare is horrible. But there it goes. There she is. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. And you can no longer see my wood cabinetry. Whereas, you know, when the sun was shining on it before, you could definitely see in there and see the wood. And now you cannot. So it looks pretty good. The first time we did this side first, the driver's side, and it was horrible. It was so windy that it was just totally unmanageable. And the way that they described how to do it, it actually, I don't really like the way they had you do it. We did it differently on the other side, and it turned out a lot better. It was a lot easier. And I can definitely say that I'm not real agreeable with their instructions. See, they have you line it up onto the window and then put tape on the four corners, and then there is one long piece of tape down the center. Then they tell you to come over here on the right, pull back the backing, and have one person cut the backing off, and then starting from the center, you start squeegeeing your way down. And they sent two of these, and then they tell you to start in the center and squeegee that way, and then up and that way. And it was just, I mean, maybe it would have been better if it wasn't windy, but considering the circumstances, this just didn't work. And this frog tape, it's just painter's tape. It's not supposed to be real strong, and you should have seen it. It was hilarious when we were doing the driver's side. It was very frustrating, but you know, our neighbors were probably watching and laughing. Actually, I heard them kind of giggling at one point because I had my foot up on the side of the truck trying to hold down the decal because it was flying away in the wind, and my ex was on the other side trying to hold it down. It was a clown show. And so what we did on the other side was, instead of putting that center tape down that way, we put tape all along the edges, and then on the right side I started, and instead of going halfway, I only went like a quarter of the way, and we peeled the backing down and we cut the backing off, and we started like right there at a quarter of the window, and I scraped that way and everything and got it adhered. And then for the other 3/4 that was left, we took the roll and rolled it up backwards onto itself and rolled it all the way up to the point where I had stopped. And then my ex stood there and started taking the backing off of it, and just took a little bit of the backing off, and I stood on the other side, and while he was slowly unrolling and taking the back off just a little bit at a time, I took both of these. They send two, and I had one in each hand, and basically I was you know, if you can imagine, it's hard to show you, but I was using both of these along the length of the window, and as he was unrolling it, I was squeegeeing all the way down. So that's the best way that I found to do it, is just to take the backing off as you're squeegeeing it down, because taking the backing off and then just laying there and expecting it to go on smoothly, that just did not work. So I tried to follow their instructions, but I didn't like their instructions. So whatever. We got the second one on, and it looks a lot better than the first side, of course, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. They tell you to leave 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, and my ex was just basically using one side of this as the cutting guide right before the blade comes out, just like that. And unfortunately, that's only about 1/16 of an inch, and I can already see that it's starting to curl up just a little bit, and I hope that's not going to be a problem. But I am going to keep these, and I'm going to monitor it. And it's not curling up on the other side, and he didn't take any more off, but so I think it's the sun. The sun is hitting the driver's side right now, and I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it. I can't really even see it until I get at a certain distance. Can you tell right there? Yeah, you can see that, how it's lifting up. That's probably going to be a problem. I may have to go through and do another extra trim, because if you can see that, it's really just about 1/16 of an inch. So I'm not quite sure if that's big enough gap. And I don't know, I guess it's because it's the sun. The sun is warming it up. But I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on it. I may have to do this for several days in a row. Hopefully this isn't gonna be a problem. Sorry about the wind, guys. Yep, that's it. That's how it looks. I'm pretty happy with it. And you can still see out, just like you're supposed to. It's a one-way thing. You're still supposed to be able to see out, which is cool. So that was it. Finally, another job done, and it's not bad. These were pretty expensive, so I hope it stays down. It's super sticky. It's just along the edges. It kind of wants to curl up. So I hope I don't have to go back through here and trim it all again, but I might have to. Alright, you guys. Talk to you again later. Bye.